Welcome. We're back in Vancouver to the Global Diamond Podcast.
Okay, this is why I start the podcast. It's called the Global Diamond Broker Podcast.
Right.
I'm your host, GIA Judy, and this is my lovely co-host, Colin.
You weren't talking very lovely to me a few minutes ago.
Yeah, but now the camera's on.
I tell people about that. We can be, what do they call it that we do? Bickering.
We scrap.
We scrap.
And then the camera goes on, and we're all happy.
Well, we're not unhappy when we're kind of the type of people that are happy scrapping as well, though. So
It's funny. It's
right?
comical.
We don't mind a fight, that's for sure.
Anyways, we are now on episode 35, and we just got back from New York. Our last podcast was in New York.
And if you haven't been on to see our post yet, you've got to go on and check it out.
So cute.
It's, what did we call it?
72 hours
in 38 seconds.
39 seconds.
Was it 39 seconds?
I don't know. It might be 38.
I think it was 38, but who's counting? Anyway, so it was very exciting, and there's lots of exciting things to talk about. Now, I want to start a little bit with the news, and so you know, we're kind of becoming a little bit famous as a company globally right now, and so we are going to be having our own newscast coming up very soon.
Exciting!
The host will be the lovely Katrina Cotton, who has a great deal of experience in broadcasting, and
Not to mention, she is absolutely beautiful
I
to look
never
at.
noticed that about her, actually. I was more interested in her for her mind. It just shows how deep I truly am. People tell me you're beautiful. I don't get it. I say only until you get to know her.
That's rude. Anyways, moving on.
Moving on. Yes, Katrina Cotton will be well worth watching. Lovely person, lovely personality. And she's going to be bringing in a lot of the news that we don't get to talk about here, nor is it our agenda. Everywhere from what's happening with Russian diamonds right now. And, you know, for me, Russian diamonds right now are blood diamonds. And I'm happy to report that as of this morning, the U.S. government is furthering their sanctions against the Russian government, because the way they've gotten around this, and I don't even know why they let this happen, is what they said, because Russia is responsible for probably up to 40% of the world's diamond production today, and they mine them in Russia and Siberia. Remember, diamond mining is an ugly business, and you will find diamond mines not anywhere near beautiful areas or cities or anything like that. You will find them in the remotest parts of northern Canada. You will find them in Siberia. And the Siberian mines are, 40% of it. But the way they've been getting around selling their diamonds into the biggest market in the world, which is the U.S., you've heard us talk about this before, the U.S. accounts for over half, exactly. And so the way they got around it is they would ship the diamonds to India. India would cut them, or other cutting centers, and not to say that the India's in cahoots.
But
They're
they do
not.
play a large role. 9 out of 10 diamonds come out of India.
9
whether
out
it's
of 10
cutting,
diamonds come out of India. Yeah. And at the end of the day, unfortunately, with these, at that level of the business, it's all about the money. And so the way they got around you getting Russian diamonds in your jewelry is by shipping them to other countries who recut, remanufacture, and then move them on into the supply chain. And you know, we know at least half of them go into the U.S. diamond market, which is over half the retail sales in the world. And they're stopping that now. Finally, because
it's about time.
we view them as blood diamonds.
And we don't like blood diamonds.
We don't want blood diamonds. It's my kind of second round since I've been in the business with blood diamonds. You can remember the Leonardo DiCaprio, who, by the way, where I was in northern China, was mistaken for. Why do you find that so funny? right?
No, not at all.
It is funny. It is funny. And this was a part of northern China where people just don't speak English, and there is no English. So to order in the restaurant I was in, I used to have to run down to the front desk with the menu and point at the food because no one understood anything. And I was in this very luxurious, my client there was a very wealthy Chinese businessman. And he took me to the best restaurants on the planet.
Didn't you eat something like Blowfish?
Blowfish, right? Blowfish, that was the first restaurant. I actually ate it in 2 restaurants in China where there's very few, because it will kill you. And if it doesn't kill you, it will paralyze you.
Oh, great.
Okay, so there's an option to death. It's paralysis. And there are very few sushi chefs. Sushi chefs?
I know.
Sushi
English is
chefs.
difficult for you.
Some days. I just need some corrective toothpaste, maybe. And who can cut this. And this guy happened to be one of them. And so, was it worth the risk? Absolutely. To say you've eaten blowfish. And blowfish, the taste of it is kind of like uni. It's kind of like nothing else that you expect to come from the ocean. It was amazing. Clearly no paralysis. And as far as I know, I'm still alive.
Thank God.
Really? You feel
Yeah.
like that about me? I never knew. But what was my story about why were we in northern China just now? Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio. So I'm in the restaurant, and all these lovely, of all the countries I've visited, it may come as a surprise to people. By far the most hospitable, lovely people are the Chinese. And so I had this polo or Hugo Boss. Yeah, I got it at Hugo Boss. It was a polo blue t-shirt with a collar, and I had the collar up. What do they call those t-shirts? There's a name for them. Golf shirt, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Golf shirts.
Anyway. And so they're all sort of giggling in the corner. And one of them walks up to me, and I had more hair then than I do now. And one of them walked up to me, and I had my hair slicked back, and she looked
So you looked handsome? Is that what you're trying to say?
I think I always look handsome, don't I? Right? Like, that hasn't changed. Walked up to me and went, Leonardo? And I said, chuckled.
Is that your
and I
Chinese
went,
accent?
Yes. I straightened it out.
You played with it for a bit?
I straightened it out later, but I definitely teased. Am I in trouble?
No.
Okay. Okay, I didn't knock it off that time. So yeah, but we've been all over the world, and we're looking at going all over the world with our podcast. We're actually becoming quite popular, our podcast, which always surprises me. But I guess it is kind of an interesting subject, diamonds.
Yeah.
And I feel that a lot of viewers just come on to see how good looking I am. No? It's not working? Someone wrote in the other day
Tough
when
crowd.
when they saw us on social media somewhere. It
And
was
they
the
commented,
podcast.
Beauty and the Beast?
And I messaged Judy and said, which is which? And I said, I even went further. I said, she's really beautiful until you get to know her. Is that wrong? That's wrong, right?
That's so rude.
So rude. Oh, well.
I like your outfit today.
Thank you. We
It
look
makes
like
you
we're
look slim.
We're in mourning.
We're in mourning. What are we in mourning for?
I'm not going to say it, what I said before, because it's not true. And I get accused of this thing. I get accused a lot. So Judy said to me, I said to Judy, we're both dressed in black. And she said, what are we going to talk about today? Look, what we really want to talk about today are some exciting things that are going on for the company and the growth of the company. And certainly, and I said to her, well, maybe we could go on and talk about, now this is tongue in cheek and I'm only kidding, the death of the mine diamond industry. And she got this because one of the things we report facts. We just brokered to Hong Kong one of the most beautiful, absolutely the highest grade of white diamond.
I've never seen a more beautiful diamond.
Yeah, out of the ground that's ever been done. This is every aspect of that diamond was the absolute
epitome of perfection.
The pinnacle, the absolute epitome or the pinnacle of perfection. And so we brokered it. It's a very valuable diamond. It's worth well in excess of $250,000 US, well north of that actually. And it's interesting when we broker these stones because sometimes people get the impression that we're all about mind and
No, that we're all about lab grown. But we deal in both.
that we're all about but we deal in both. And the reason we do is and we sort of say this tongue in cheek, but we mean it, is that we're
pro-choice.
We're pro-choice, right? Like if you want a mine diamond, they're available today. If you want a diamond,
There's lots to be available on the mine diamond side.
Yeah, there's lots. It is.
You look for that same grade in a lab grown, and it's pretty difficult.
Yeah. The growth of the lab-grown diamond industry has been astonishing, and what's going on in the industry right now, and the chasm, I guess, between the two groups, and we've talked about this before, is it's a battle. Like they're getting dirty. It's getting scrappy now.
Well, there's that documentary that we've been mentioning for the last 6 months, Nothing Lasts Forever by Jason Cohn. It talks about the fact that lab-grown diamonds have been funneling into the industry for decades, and no one knew.
Nobody knew.
Finally, I was...
Well, wait. Somebody knew.
Somebody knew.
But consumers didn't know. Mm-hmm. I suspected it. And then there was a couple of situations where the Gemological Institute of America had gone, and this is a decade ago, and took what's called a scoop. We have one around here somewhere, a diamond scoop.
Should I grab it?
I don't think we... Yeah, if you... No, you don't need to grab it. It's a scoop. That's all. It's like a shovel without a handle. Yeah. Right? Like that's all it is. And we shovel our diamonds with it, if you can imagine. And, the GIA, the Gemological Institute of America, went into some manufacturings and took a scoop. And then they took them back to the GIA. And look, the only one who can assure you that your diamond
came out of a lab
or a mine is the Gemological Institute of America. Trust no one else. Okay, you'll hear a lot of stuff about this nowadays, but they're the only one who can definitively tell you if it's mined or lab grown. And they found 60% had come out of a laboratory. And you know what the industry did with, had come out of a laboratory. And you know what the industry did with that information? Buried it. Right? If there's one thing, I think back to Donald Trump, I think that we've all learned is fake news. And we're in the middle of a war right now with the diamond industry. Look, we report the facts as we know them. I go out into the internet world where jewelers will come back on me and secretly from fake accounts try to say what I say isn't true. And so far to date still, I had to name someone creepy last night who was making comments about lab grown and mined and was completely wrong but adamant in their view. But these people hide, and apparently they don't want to bet me as to what the facts are, and I get no takers to date. But we report the facts for you. Okay, that's what we do. There's two products. They're both diamonds. The best trained eyes in the world can't tell the difference. Whatever's important to you, this is a love decision. It's an emotional decision for most couples. And so whatever's important to you. And, we're quoting right now. In fact, I think of this. We have a 3-carat heart-shaped mine diamond to quote on where I've been. Did you see those messages?
Saw those, yeah.
We have to reach out to him and book a time to chat. Or her. Can't tell who it is yet. But yeah, we're brokering these things globally, but we do not have an opinion one way or the other, really. I mean, are we getting more orders for mine diamonds or lab grown? It's lab grown by a lot, but it's a market that's grown by $12 billion in the U.S. over the last year and grown by 38%. So that's, I think, to be expected. Right? I don't think they're going anywhere. And, De Beers is building its manufacturing in the U.S. to call their lab-grown diamonds American-made. And it just makes me so emotional to know I'll be able to buy an American-made diamond from my home. Oh, it's not my home. Maybe we'll get some from Canada. Anyway, there we go. So we got that out of the way. So what else is going on for us, Judy? GIA Judy.
Well, we just took on a new social media person to run our campaigns, our Instagram, our TikTok. Colin wants to get on Twitter.
I think I'd be the boss on Twitter.
I think you would too.
Because
I
I'm
don't
a bit
disagree.
of a, what's the technical word for what I am that I like to use?
I don't know if I can say it on
Go
camera.
ahead. Go ahead.
No, I'm kidding.
Right? I'm an asshole. Right? If people want to
I didn't say it, guys.
But if people want to come out and say stuff that isn't true, and this is an industry of misinformation, I am the wrong person.
MF.
Yeah, to say it to, because I'm aggressive. I know what the facts are more than I ever thought I did. But, again, I'm a student of the industry. I've been a student of the industry for a very long time. Clearly, this morning, I woke up, and where other people get to wake up and enjoy their coffee, and I get up and read all the Google alerts on what's going on in the diamond industry. And, you'd be shocked every day what's going on globally. And now we're a global player. I mean, we're playing in countries like Myanmar where there's dictatorships and we're making rings. We're playing in China now. We've shipped a few stones to China recently. The U.S. is now our biggest market. It's not the Canadian market anymore. That's overnight, which is exciting. By the way, the diamonds that go into the U.S. market, a little bit different from the Canadian ones. You might want to, think of the Canadian ones as, it's kind of like...
What is it? Spit it out.
Well, I don't want to call them puny in comparison, but is that the wrong thing to say?
No.
Like we don't get any orders in Canada for 8-carat cushion cuts,
which
or
we just did.
7-carat
in a lab,
brilliants, or 5 carats, which we get lots
all
of 5
our massive
carats.
diamonds have been sold to our clients
to our
in the
U.S.
States.
And this is
Nothing
a whole
wrong
new
with
market
Nothing
for
wrong
us,
with it.
and all predicated on the same thing. Is all predicated on our brand, which is the most beautiful diamonds in the world. Look, visually, that's the only thing you're buying. If you think you're buying something else, if some jeweler tries to convince you that your best interests are in a transparent diamond, please have them call me. Because this is where I become what's the technical word again?
A-hole?
A-hole. Like, it's lies, the industry tells. Maybe I should name my book that, Lies the Industry Tells. I have a book coming. Just wait for it. I've had so many names for it though now, but that's a pretty good one. Because they are lies. And they're misinforming people as to what, it's like my issue with one of the biggest luxury brands in the world who sells eye-colored diamonds. They are indecent. They are dark. They're not even yellow. They're the color of urine.
Urine is yellow.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never look down.
Oh.
I never look down. Okay. And obviously I never write my name in the
snow?
In the snow. And
Which
we've got a lot of it out there today.
Why did they have to come to work today?
Listen, you live like 2 blocks away, okay? The streets downstairs are completely clean, okay? Yeah. What was I saying? Wasn't that a nice segue to the snow issue we're having here in Vancouver? And we don't get a lot of snow, and I don't know if you can see it. I thought it was fog when I woke up, but it's been snow, and it hasn't stopped. And so, yeah, you live like a couple blocks away.
Damn it.
And you're from...
My car broke
You
down.
lived in Saskatchewan for 7
Manitoba.
years. Whatever.
Same difference,
Right?
I guess.
Same difference.
Yeah.
Judy's quite upset about the snow. She's been using it to be... What's the word I would use? A bit melancholy, But that's okay. I mean, it's snow. That's what snow does. Anyway, so... Yes, we have a new social media manager.
Our website is coming soon.
Our new
We've been saying
website.
that for so long. Thank you for your patience, but it is coming soon. We're working hard to get it up there.
Well, it's not an easy thing to do when you...
It's not.
Like we went through a lot to get to where we are. And the biggest reason is we found this niche that seems to be so have such a big appetite out
Right.
there in the world is the world's most beautiful diamonds at prices that defy comparison.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we do. Someone brought up the not late great person, Marcus Naslund, but the late great Vancouver Canuck, Marcus Naslund, who I guess I talked about before in one of the early podcasts. We've done so many podcasts now, I don't even remember. But this is a man, very intelligent, very capable. His jersey's been retired here in Vancouver. It's up in the rafters. Captain of the Vancouver Canucks, took him to the Stanley Cup Finals. And, he, the first ring I ever made for him, this makes me kind of iconic, by the way.
You are iconic.
He sent me a letter, an email. It can't be that long ago because there was email. When I started, there was no email. There were no cell phones. There was nothing like that. And said, I was to my ice what he was to his.
Oh, that's a good one.
After he changed all his diamond jewelry from this other nasty jeweler. I hate retailers. I'm sorry, I really do, because they will say and do anything to sell a diamond.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, some of them are very great, like the great Harry Winston.
Yeah.
Even that company today is amazing. It's very expensive, but they give you what you get. You get the most beautiful, and they're the only company I'm aware of that really do that. But yeah, and so the whole thing is around beauty. The whole thing is around beauty. And whether you know it or not, if you're buying a diamond, that's what you're buying. There's no resale of these things, which is another thing we've gone through with jewelers trying to tell us there's a market afterwards, like the used car market for white diamonds.
Try and sell your diamond engagement ring after you buy it.
Take the
Let
one
us
you
know.
have now and say you're going to sell it, pretend, go out, Google it. There's companies that'll buy them from you, and they pay you 10 cents on the
Pennies
dollar.
on the dollar.
And then they're diamond companies, so they put them back into play through the diamond system, which gives them back the value. Anyway, so what else is going on for the company? We're expanding. We're going to be taking, New York was our first international podcast after 34. But we are going to be visiting other diamond centers in the world. We're certainly planning a trip to India at some time. Antwerp, Belgium. I had an office in Antwerp for 15 years. So
Yep.
we're planning to go to Antwerp. Israel, we're going to come to you from all over the world because we are the global diamond broker. What we do is we provide diamonds to a global market that seems to be super hungry for them. They're the most beautiful at prices that defy comparison. And, I've been doing it for
This is your 50th decade, right?
fifth decade.
Fifth decade. Sorry, I
Okay,
don't know why I
this one
said that.
really messes with you. Do you know in China you're 26, not 25?
I do know that.
Okay. And apparently Korea as well.
In Korea as well?
But I think they changed the law in Korea. We'll have to look into this. But yeah, it's the next year. So if you think
Because
about
they
it,
count, I think that it's because they count the 9 months that you're in the womb.
well, when you first brought this to my attention, when I said I was finishing 4 decades, you were on your way from the mountain out there. It was the end of the day, and I figured you were inebriated again. Only to find and so your math wasn't functioning, and but no, it's for real. Numbers are not your strong suit.
I know.
That's a tough one for people to get their head around. See, in my mind, when you're born, that's your first year, and you should be 1. Like, is it 0? Are you 0 until you turn 1? Do you know what I'm saying? So I think the older cultures have it correct.
I don't know if I agree.
think you were inebriated if I like when we talked on here about your New Year's resolutions and alcohol wasn't one of them, and I said, well, I think you need to move
should be.
alcohol up on the list. But we're working on her. Anyway. But yeah, we had a lot of fun in New York. We're having a lot of fun here. You need help. You need some feedback. We're here to help. We're the Global Diamond Broker.
Now you're an informed diamond buyer.
And if you don't see our TikToks, look.
What's she gonna do about it?
Is that it?
Yeah.
What's she gonna do
It's
about it?
pretty accurate. You got a couple of years on the kid in the TikTok.
But I still look good doing it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Are you just finding every reason to flex
you
your
seem
bicep?
to have a thing with me flexing lately. I'm not a flexer. I'm flexed.
Breathe, Colin. Breathe.
Don't even bother, okay?
Anyways, you guys, thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week.
And for people who send us cards and letters and texts and say how much they're enjoying the podcast, and even those of you who really offer advice on where we could improve, we pay no attention to it. We're too self-centered for that.
Who gives us feedback? Oh, yeah, we've gotten a couple.
Like there's Tony V.
Who says we shouldn't be calling it?
Well, should we talk about that?
I think so.
Well, he says we shouldn't refer to our diamonds as lab-grown because, and I think he's right, and we do have a bit of a surprise for you coming because our lab-grown are not like other lab-grown diamonds because we take extra measures with our diamonds over and above what even the GIA will do to ensure they're the most beautiful on the planet, to ensure that, and this is one of the challenges, you can have certain aspects of the diamond, and this is all diamonds, make them structurally unsafe and yet have a good grade on the stone. And so we take extra measures, extra laboratory measures over and above what normal people would get to make sure that those things aren't there. And so there will be a naming of them, and we've talked about it before, and you're going to see it more. And that's all I'm going to say about that right now. But when you get a lab-grown diamond from us or a mine diamond, it meets a standard that is not met other places in the world in terms of its accuracy of grading, the integrity of the grading, the integrity of the diamond, and and of course the value proposition, which at the end of the day we guarantee for life. We're the only company in the world to do that. Okay, we gotta go. I gotta go. No, I gotta go. I don't want to get in trouble again. You've managed to make it through a whole podcast without hitting me.
Okay, anyways, thank you for tuning in, you guys.
Thanks,
we
everybody.
We'll see you next week.
God bless.
Bye.